And we're back with some more Manor Lords. And last episode, we got through most of the game mechanics. I know that was a pretty dense episode, but there was a lot of mechanics to cover. This game's a little bit weirder than many of the ones we've played. But, well, the plans today would be to hopefully capture another territory. So, first up, though, we're going to need to take care of some of the basics again, which is food. And I'm thinking farming is on the menu. And there's an area over here which would make a perfect piece of farm field for emmer. Emmer is basically wheat. I think emmer is a variant of wheat that existed back in the day. So all we'll do is we'll chuck down a quick field right here. And, oh, I think this stuff is the problem. There's a bunch of leftover wood. I basically cored this out with a logging camp, and the logging camp seems to have left a bunch of logs behind, and it seems logs are a problem for placing fields. Okay, fine. Then what we will do is we will make multiple fields. Say something along there. Excellent. Done. Now we've got three fields in there. Like if when we zoom out, you can see the different symbols. Now I've been doing a little bit of studying on this. There's +3, +2, and then there should be a +1 over here. This determines how fertile the soil is. This single digit stuff should be between 50 to 69% fertile for wheat. It says wheat here, but emmer on the overlay, I don't know what the difference is, but let's wheat and emmer, you can use the two interchangeably. But this is 62%, which is between the 50 and 69 you would expect for this area. Then you've got the doubles. The double pluses would be 70 to 84%-ish, and then the triple pluses go all the way from about 84 to 100% fertility. Reason that matters is, well, to do with how much fertility is consumed. Fertility is consumed by crops while they're in it, and each crop consumes about 50% of the fertility to go from 0 to 100% readiness to be harvested. So, as long as you have something with a +1 symbol, it's got enough fertility to grow your crop. However, then it's going to have to recover afterwards, so you're usually better off having multiple plus symbols if at all possible. And barley is going to be very important later on, and that one you really have to pay attention to. Oh, and minuses exist. Not on this map. We've actually got very good fertility. We're pretty lucky. But say, yeah, over here, there's a minus, a double minus, and a triple minus. Yeah, all of these are bad. A single minus will go from 49% to 35%. Then you've got the doubles will go from about 17 to 34, and the triples will go from about 16% all the way down to 0%. So anything that's got a minus on it, you literally cannot grow that crop there. Well, you can, but you'll have to force the harvest early, and it won't get a full yield because it'll run out of fertility before it gets there. I haven't done a huge amount of testing, so I don't know if this is a battery that you can change. As far as I'm aware, what will happen is you'll grow the crop, and you can only once you stop growing the crop and let the field go fallow, the fertility will recover, but it will only recover back up to its natural maximum. You can't increase that anymore. You can't fertilize it and improve it, it seems. I'll have to do more research on that, but for now, we're going to assume you can't. And over here, we're going to want to set these to wheat. Yep, that'll give us grain for the farm, grain for bread. The 97%, 100% fertility on that field. 100% on you and 97 there. That is great. We will need a farmhouse, though, to have the farmers actually go over and do something with it. We'll put that guy there. Once he's up and running, we'll immediately get them onto farming. This is actually the wrong time of year for it, but it doesn't really matter as far as I can tell. I did some testing on the side, and it really, so long as you're manually farming, you don't really have to care. Oi! Oi! Some bandits stole our hammers. That's annoying. Which bandits did it? Okay, I'll be getting around to killing you in a bit. We're over here, they're over there. I don't want to do it just yet. The problem is if we go and summon up our militias, and in fact, we should probably create a militia. Let's say new militia unit spears. Yeah, we can create a new spear militia. We can only equip 20 of them, though, because we only have 20 spears and 20 large shields. However, we only have 16 fellas, so we don't have enough people for it to actually get a full squad up. I would prefer to have the full 20 before we go tangle with them. Right now, we haven't actually summoned the militia, but what they'll do now is they will pick up their weapons and they'll store them in their houses. You'll see there's 4 shields and 4 spears there ready to go, and when we hit the button, they'll all run back home, grab their gear, and get ready to go. Over here, you nearly finished this? Get that farm finished. We need to start planting soon. Okay, farm is finished. We are taking everyone off everything we can spare them from, and we're going to get them planting. The more people we have, the faster we can make this go. Now, let me see here. Is there anything we can take people out of? Do we need the firewood? We got 10 months of fuel. It's fine. We'll take one person into there. We need one person in the storehouse. See this little symbol here? It's the allow market stall setup. We need people to set up market stalls. So we've got a food stall. We take people out of that, people stop getting fed. Easy thing to do is click on your marketplace, assuming you've only got one. You see, look, food variety. That's everyone's green, so they've got their food ready. Everyone's clothing needs are covered. Everyone's firewood needs are covered. If we start pulling those people out that actually set up the stalls, then they'll empty after a while when people consume or use the food or fuel, at which point these people will start becoming unhappy and our approval rating will start going down. And our approval rating has finally topped out at 76%. Might actually keep going up. But that means we're going to get 2 new families joining us next month. And that will be about 9-10 days from now. Perfect. In that case, though, yeah, we still need to get these fields done. All right, the way this works is it's a multi-stage thing. First thing to do is they have to plough the fields. Later on, we can get oxen to help with that. Then they're going to plant the fields. That's usually a lot quicker. Then it has to grow. That takes a long time. That's a completely natural occurrence. And at the end, there's the harvest. That's pretty much it. In the middle, it'll drain the fertility out of the field. And you can do this whole thing with crop rotation, which we're not going to do just yet. But that's more for automating it when you're going off dealing with other areas. And, oh, would you look at that? That area there has freed up because someone came along and collected all of those logs. Excellent. Will give us another wheat field. Why not? That should give us plenty of wheat to make bread. All right. We'll wait until they're finished that before we do anything else. We have 5 people working that. And this is what I think happens. You sort of have seasonal labor. Like during the spring, what you're going to want to do is put everyone onto wild berries. Just basically smash through it. I think, but I'm not certain, after playing around with this a bit, berries have a certain generation rate. Like you can get about 360 berries in the first 3 months of the year. So in spring, March, April, May. However, you can harvest them. They will regenerate faster. If you say start harvesting them all at the very start, you get like 2 forager huts, you put 4 people in each and you start harvesting them really quickly. They will regenerate quite quickly. But then once you've harvested a full 360, they'll stop. Which you can harvest it really quickly. Like in the first month, you could probably drain all of the berries out of it, and then it'll just stop regenerating at that point. I think more testing is required, but it does mean this is usually a reliable 300-ish berries every year, as far as I can tell. More testing required, but I think that might become a staple food source for us. Another bandit camp has been sighted. Is that 2 or 3? Yep, we've got 1 bandit camp here, 1 bandit camp there. That's actually free experience in loot. I really need to get around to those. But no. First we got to finish out a few things. Well, we've almost finished our farming. A family member has joined. Actually, 2 new family members have joined. That means we're up to 9 families. And we can currently store 11. That means, well, once the next month rolls over, we'll have 2 more people, assuming we can keep our approval tipping over. What we want to do here, though, is fill up, put in 3 more burgage plots. They're all going to be single burgage plots, though. Houses, burgages. You've got me saying burgages, and it just feels so wrong. I'm sure it's a real word. It's just before I started playing this game, I had never heard that word before. It's like emmer for the wheat. Why? You're messing with my head here. You guys, pause. I don't want anyone building those. Yeah, I'm still using the corpse pit grid design to like block off areas. So this means we'll be putting in a double, and we'll be putting in either vegetables or apples at the back of this. Ooh, that reminds me, I'm going to have to move these saw pits and these logging camps. Now, are you guys finished yet? Sowing progress, 0%. Why are you not sowing? It's September, harvesting, plowing, and sowing crops. Oh, I think September is harvest only. Well then, we should get on with a few things while we're waiting. So we'll free up all of these. Time to stockpile some logs, planks. Oh, and we need to get our hands on some stone. So we're going to want to set up a stone on the stone deposit over there, and we're going to start breaking into the clay. We're going to use the clay deposits to make tiles, and we're going to sell those for money. We don't really have any money spinners right now because, well, our animals are weak, our berries are, well, animals are normal, berries are normal. You kind of need both of those to keep your food supplies up, and you need the leather and all that. We're not going to get enough leather out of that without bonuses. Oh, and we do have a point we can spend, but I'm saving that for the time being. We don't need that just yet. With those 3 burgages up, we're going to put in 2 more extended burgage plots. Same as these sort of things. The back end of these, we're not going to put veggies, we're going to put apples, but something, they're very similar to veggies anyway. The main goal here right now is food variety. See, you look here, it requires 2 foods. It says one of at least one type of any food supplied to the marketplace, two types of any food supplied to the marketplace. Effectively, when we go up a level, when we upgrade this to level 2, they're going to want 3 food types, and when we go up to level 4, or sorry, level 3 burgage plots, they're going to want 4 food types. So the number one staple food source that everyone seems to enjoy is vegetables because they're free, they're easy, they're pretty well. Okay, they take a fair bit of labor from the people in the houses, but it doesn't really matter what soil you put them on. Grain is pretty much, as far as I can see, the second one on the list, namely because grain is well available everywhere. That may sound like madness. Okay, yes, we got a great tile, but even if you find a terrible tile like this one, you'll still find large areas where it has at least one plus symbol. One plus symbol, fine, you'll have to like grow a crop, then wait a year, grow a crop, wait a year. You can, with cycling and leaving the fields fallow, grow a full thing of emerald, so long as you've got at least one plus, and every area has at least decent swaths of land that can be turned into emmer, which is wheat, which is bread. So bread would appear to be the second most common food source you're going to get into, just because it's so ubiquitously available everywhere. And the third one seems to be apples. We haven't clicked on those yet, but apples, they're very similar to vegetables, though they do cost you 1 point. You will only get 6 points to spend in here. That's it. So there's not an infinite amount of points, so you've got to figure out, you sort of end up specializing the territory. This territory here has separate points to all the other territories. So what you can end up doing is say specialize this place in mining because it has lots of rich clay deposits. Say this place over here has lots of rich animal deposits, so maybe you go with a more meat focused approach there, and you can actually use meat as a food source supply. As well as over here, there's a salt deposit, so you could probably build a rich salt mine here or an extended salt mine here, and then use that salt combined with the meat. You could trade back and forth to make sausages. There's ways to interlink communities to make everything more than the sum of its parts. But when it comes to food, two main sources: veggies, then wheat, then usually apples, because I think everyone would be willing to pay that point for such a cheap food source that's so utilizable. Then for the fourth food source, we'll probably go with eggs. Eggs are basically an attachment you can stick at the back of your all the burgage plots, but it costs 25 gold coins. Not cheap, so this is more of a late game thing. So right now, we're trying to get up to the point where we're going to have veggies, grains, we're going to use berries as well, and then we're also going to get in apples. So the apples take a lot longer to get up to speed. It takes about 5 years for them to become fully productive. You'll get some apples out of them before the 5 year mark, but yeah, these things you really want to start planning them early. Well, that's the end of the year, so or the end of the month, sorry. So we're into October. We need to crank up our farming, so we're going to, the forager hut is, yep, they've finally harvested pretty much all but the last 2 berries. You know what, you can take the last 2. Oh, these guys have got to run huts. That's a problem, like, we keep having to leave people running huts just to keep everyone fed or... irritating. Where am I supposed to get spare labor from for the farms? And I think that is just about it. That's everything planted and ready. You can even see these ones are already starting to grow. You can harvest them early once I think they get above about 20%, though that would appear to not be advisable. It's not very efficient. You really want to let them grow to 100% if at all possible. Now, long-term planning. Okay, we're going to put in more houses along here, but we want to break over to this clay deposit. I want to start cutting that in because, well, we're going to want to get our hands on clay so that we can sell it. We can turn it into tiles, and this is their only rich deposit, so we want to use this to generate money. Mining pits are pretty cheap, 1 log, and it works on iron deposits, clay deposits, and salt deposits. We do have one problem, though. That is going to be the clay furnace. That thing requires 5 stone. Its construction cost seems to indicate it's 5 clay or something like that. I don't know, that's a weird-looking stone, whatever it is. It seems to be discolored. But no, that's actually 5 stone. So we're going to have to pop over here and put down a stone mine. I figure, well, we want to make sure people have a road there, so... Oop, let's tilt this round, and I want to make this as straight as possibly can. The simplest thing to do, grab, nope, this guy here. Extend him on, make sure it lines up with the road. Yeah, that looks about right. And then, since we can't place it, just do it in reverse. Done. That gives us a relatively straight road right through the forest. Then over here, there is a separate stonecutters camp. For some reason, stone is completely different to the other ones. And we'll chuck that down there. Make sure the road goes up to it. Second. Might as well cut down on their journey time a wee bit. Then that will take a while to get up. We're going to have to wait till the oxen get all the way there carrying in the 2 logs. So that might be a little time. And over here we have our mining pit going up, and across the road from the mining pit, what we want to put down is a storehouse. We're going to have a storehouse whose only purpose is to store clay. Well, clay and tiles. The reason for that is we don't want our people going over there and hauling the clay all the way over here. Instead, we'll just have one specialized clay storage here, clay and tiles, that's it. We'll exclude clay and tiles from this storehouse. No tiles, no clay. That means this stuff will only have to take short trips, and then right beside it we'll place the furnace for making the tiles, and then we'll probably put the market beside that. Seems reasonable enough. Actually, I think I prefer this view. Well, it's a longer view, but I like it. And I have forgotten to mention about animals over here. These wild animals, what I have been told, they regenerate one wild animal every 7 days. That's it. Whether you have one animal or 15 animals, it doesn't make a difference. It's just a new animal generates. You generate one animal every 7 days. And the hunting camps are not perfect. Sometimes they will overhunt a place by 2 or 3. So your best bet is just leave it to default. The default currently is 10, I believe. Ah, yes, wild animals per herd. It never goes above, or it goes below 10. So once it hits 10, they stop hunting. You might dip down to 9 or 8 occasionally if you have multiple hunting camps, but that shouldn't be an issue. I basically do this in waves. Because it's so infrequent, I occasionally just chuck someone into hunting, get them to hunt it until it's down to 10, then I take them out of hunting, put them into the tannery until they finish processing all the hides, and then just that's it. This is a very low food source. You're better off, like, we're actually out of everything but berries now. We're living entirely on berries. Everyone must be getting diabetes at this point. That's a lot of sugars. Oh, the bandit stole 3 of our... Oh, 7 and 3 berries. But it's pretty much the only thing we got left to steal is food. Okay, we'll go smash the bandits in a bit. It's almost getting into winter. Once it's December and the snows drop, we'll summon the militia and go hunting. We should have... Yeah, we got 22 lados ready to go smashing stuff. And we just had a new person join us. Yeah, family moved in. Actually, 2 new people joined us. Seems they don't join us at exactly the end of the month. Sometimes they seem to join in the middle. That's weird. Winter is approaching. Excellent. Right, we just would like to get this mining camp finished. Anyone want to get on that? Never mind, they're already kicking it into gear. Once that's done, that gets us some stone, and stone is pretty much the last bottleneck. Well, stone and tiles for all of our construction projects. Done. You will put 1 stone cutter on that. Then, thing is, that's going to be a long distance to travel. Do we want to store it? You know what? We will. We'll store it here. Probably going to start filling this place up too much, but that's grand. It's grand. This is incredibly quick. Like, this goes up super fast. And the deposit goes down. Right, so this is actually... The number it says is exactly how much stone you have. Well, that's going to be awkward. We've only got 231 iron, which means we're not going to be making a lot of weapons here. When it comes to troops, there's a meta currently. I'd prefer to avoid it because it doesn't sound as much fun as it could be. All right, for now, I'm going to let them do their thing, but I would prefer if one of our... Where is it? You there. Where's your person with the wagon? 4 people are transporting right now. That is great. Well, hopefully one of you has grabbed the wagon, and once you've brought back enough stone, we'll start building on the little smelter thing over there for making the tiles. Because we can't build it until the stone arrives. Otherwise, if I tried to place this down now... where are you? Yes. 5 tiles. What'll happen is 5 people will go off and get 5 separate pieces of stone and carry them over one at a time, all the way from over here. And I just really don't want to do that. That feels horribly inefficient. There's a lot of inefficiencies in this game, let's just say, if you're not careful. 12 stone have arrived. That is perfect. Just give me a... Yeah, right there. Then we're also going to want a trader's hut, if I can remember which one it's under. Here we go. Trading post. Costs 4 wood. You. Go right there. Excellent. Now, for roads, what we've done is we've placed a road all the way over here, linking to that section, which is the trade point. We also have a road that goes all the way over there to that trade point. Ooh, rotating around again. And then we have a road that goes over to connect up to that side of the map. We do not have a road connected to this side. I should maybe build one of those. I kind of deleted the old one because, well, it didn't fit with the plan. You, how close can we get to you? Close enough. That way, if anyone wants to go those directions, they can. It's just villagers will prefer to use roads. And if you don't give them roads, they sometimes take all sorts of weird pathing. Like if they wanted to go over here, or just say they wanted to go to this salt mine deposit, they might like go along this road, go all the way through here, and then we don't want that. All right, how much time we got left in this month? Hmm. Or if we should plant some more crops. Just because we can. Food is going to be the biggest bottleneck, and once we get killing the bandits that are out in the map, we'll have enough money coming in that we can upgrade a few things. I think maybe another farm in here might be an idea. A couple of reasonably even looking fields. It's just this road down the middle is the one naturally put in, so okay, it's not completely perfectly square, but it is what it is. Barley is not perfect for this location, but it's good enough, and we can rotate in wheat maybe next year into that section. I don't know if the fertility is separate for both or partially shared or completely even. Like if we reduce the fertility of barley by 50%, does it reduce the fertility of wheat by 50%? I don't know. I suppose we will find out. Uh, Time to take some people out of a few chores and maybe get them to do this. We should hopefully get this done before the end of the month. I assume once it hits winter and the ground freezes, you can't plant anything. Suppose we'll find out. Well, they're busy ploughing and hopefully seeding that before the end of the year. Please tell me you're going to be able to do that. You know what? I'll worry about it in a minute. We're going to queue up more stuff, namely a manor. This is useful for a bunch of things. You say right about there. Right about there. I don't know if we can move this later. I'm not sure I care. Considering the difficulty that we're on is just normal, hopefully I don't mess it up too much. Yeah, just commit. Fine. Okay, how are you guys doing over there? You sure you haven't? Sure you don't want to finish that field before the end of the month? Be really nice if you would. Oof. Yep, I think we just ran out of time in that case. We'll leave one farmer in there in case there is something they can do, but I doubt it. All right, you finished most of the stuff over here. Good job. Give me a couple in that. You. Yeah, one of you should be able to take care of hauling all of the clay. Move in, grab the clay. You. Yeah, you should be good enough like that. Give you some fuel. Finished. But during the winter, there's not going to be much going on. We could expand, do all sorts of stuff, but in reality, what we would like to do is take care of those pests that have been annoying us. You got one guy over here, that's quick to take care of, and a second guy over there. Is there a third? No, there is not. All right, let's go pick a fight with these brigands. Actually, wait. Let's get the manor up. We get the manor, that gives us access to our retinue. Oh, actually, I would much prefer to have the retinue for this. We can get them some experience in combat, and give them names, and see if any of them die. While waiting for this to build, I checked up on our stone deposit. It's gone. Well, okay, there's 4 left. There's literally 4 stone left. That's it. I assume once the last 3 stone goes. Stupid. Also going to be filling up our stockpile back home. Come on, seriously? None of you are going to finish out the last 3. There's only 3 stone, and you're like, you know what? We'll do it next year. It's fine. There's no rush. All right, we'll wait until this is done. Should be quite short. Done. All right, this manor here is a little bit special. You can... Actually, no, not in there. If you go under army now, we've gained access to these guys. Retinue. And if we click on them, we can go to the retinue customization. And here you get to see... You're like your personal guard type of thing. Can't really do a huge amount here. They all come with their own set sort of weapons. You can't seem to change them just yet. However, you can recruit more. Or was it, where is it? Recruit men-at-arms. Pay 50 from your treasury to hire a retainer who owns basic military equipment. Basically, recruit another one of these. And you can recruit up to 12. You can build a supplementary building that allows you to unlock another 12, meaning up to 24. And they also have another unlock that you can buy, which is basically you upgrade their armor. If you upgrade their armor, they become much, much tougher. But normally you end up buying just more of them and then buying their armor later. Like, while the armor upgrade is incredible, you tend to not use them in frontline charges. You tend to use them as flanking units at the start. Later on, you'll probably upgrade all their armor, though, quite heavily. All right, with that done, let's grab our squads and go pick a fight. You guys, rally. Over here. And the first thing... Oop. Fatigued? How are you fatigued already? You've only started moving. These guys over here are also set to run to positions. No. You guys are all going to walk. Go. They're already coming out. Wow. Oh, yeah, and these guys seem to have magically regenerated their fatigue somehow. A couple of things that will get you immediately with combat is when you first rally your units, they're automatically set to run, which can be useful in some games, but in this game, it decreases your fatigue meter. Once your fatigue meter goes all the way to the bottom, they become terrible at combat and far more likely to die. And since the first thing you're usually going to do is go wander over and whack some bandits that are really far away, like these are super close bandits. If these were not so close, we might be trekking over to the other side of the map. Your units will be exhausted, which usually is what gets you killed. So what we want to do here is maybe find either a flat piece of land or preferably a hill we could fight on. A hill would be better. What the hell is that? Oh, it looks like a broken down... That looks like a broken down windmill. Probably a broken down farmhouse. Not going to worry about it. You pull back a bit. I think this is more of a hill here, so yeah, let's just stay here. We'll sprint the retinue if we have to, but hopefully they can get here and get some experience in. No, the boys arrived in plenty of time. You boys go that way, and we're going to set you on stand your ground. Makes them far less likely to take damage from a charge. Combat in this is pretty simplified, but there are some... Yeah, let's just call them quirks. I don't know if you'd actually call them strategies. If you hover over a unit and you press the tab key, you can actually see its attack, armor, charge value, anti-armor, shield, and impaling. Impaling is a counter-charge ability. Basically, only spearmen have it. If a unit has a charge ability, they will charge at the spearmen, and the spearmen will counter all their damage and basically turn it back on them. The attack of spearmen is 1, which is the lowest of pretty much any unit in the game, but they have really good defense. Then there's these set of stances up here. Give ground is terrible. Basically halves your attacking power and basically causes your units to walk back, like slowly file backwards. Seems to be terrible from what was tested. Missile alert basically makes your units better at dodging missiles. Balanced is, no bonuses or negatives. Push forward is doubles your attack power when you're attacking and is usually really good. Doesn't seem to affect your defense from what was tested. Now, again, all of this stuff is just stuff I'm getting secondhand. I have not tested all this myself, just haven't had time. There's so much to go over in this. Stand your ground, it seems, is really good for preventing early charges. For example, these brigands here seem to have a charge, do they? Yeah, they have a charge of 2. So you don't want to get caught out with it, because if they hit you with a charge, charges can kill a unit of yours, and these are all colonists. If we lose them, they're not going to be, baking bread, chopping wood, doing all that stuff later. We have to replace them. That's bad. Oh, I forgot to give these guys names, didn't I? You know what? You can get names later. Assuming you survived the first battle, you can get a name. No one gets a name until they win. Yeah, they start doing this when they get closer. They're like, come on, come over here and I'll chop your legs off. Oh, they seem to be aggro to the retinue. You, sprint on the double. Yeah, they're definitely... Huh. That is weird. Okay. Perfect. So, we've held the line. Now that we've held the line and held off their charge, we're going to do push forward. This seems to be the best way to increase attack power. If we click on these guys, we can see that they're... where is it? Our guys is probably easier. We can see in our home region, so we're getting a plus 90 to our morale, plus 25 because of the experience, and plus 19 for army power balance because we're more powerful than they are. The enemy morale, not quite as good, but they got plus 25 for experience. So what we're going to do is have our boys charge in from the rear. And this should cause them to feel very unhappy. It gives them, I think it's surrounded. If you flank people or surround them, it seems to cause a negative to their mood and morale. Yeah, and then they're just going to slowly beat the snot out of each other until one side breaks. Considering our home defender's advantage, the fact that we have 2 squads, yeah, they've already lost a bunch of people. Down to 10, started with 18 or 19, down to 9, and they've broken. And we got a bunch of influence up here. Influence is gained from, well, killing bandits and paying money to the church. Just like it was in the olden times. They will just run off the map. We don't have to worry about them now. However, there is one other thing you have to do. You boys can all return back to work. In fact, you can sprint back to work. Retinue, you need to go over here to the... on second thoughts, no. Both of you can go this direction. There's a second bandit camp. We might as well go take care of both of them at the same time. Now, let's go over and claim the spoils from this bandit camp. All the stuff they stole from us, we can get back now. Plus, we'll get some extra stuff. Well, hello there, Mr. Bandit Camp. We would like to pillage you a little bit. Yes, please. Um. Oh, there we go. We've got a message. Now, we can do two things with the resources. Either one, we can put it into our personal treasury, or two, we can send it to the nearest town. Nearest town is us, so we'll send it to the nearest town. Which means we got... Oh, and they still... When did they steal the wood and the leather? You know what? Doesn't matter. We got one of our firewood back. The 6 leather we got back. We got 3 of the grain they stole from us, and we gained 153 regional wealth. That 153 regional wealth is very, very useful to us. This burgage plot here, we're going to want you to put in an apple orchard. Well, can't afford it. 1 second. We have to unlock orchards. And we're going to get this plot to put down an orchard in the back garden. And done. These instantly puts down the trees, but it's going to be... You don't have to actually plant them the way you have to do the vegetables, which is, well, quite powerful. But at the same time, there is one downside. 5 years before they fully come online. So we're going to get both of those up immediately. And over here... We'll worry about that trade thing in a minute. For now, we're going to specialize in getting this combat sorted. So, let's go wipe out that other bandit camp over here. Round 2, same thing again, 18 bandits. We'll pop over here and we'll kill them real quick. Come on. I may have accidentally run the retinue just a tiny tad. You guys go like this. The retinue are just going to wait behind. I presume, like, if I put the retinue over here, they're going to target the retinue? Yeah. It seems the retinue are a magnet. Or either that or the retinue were up front when they first attacked. Oh, and you guys, I would like to put you on stand your ground. You guys can be put on push forward. There they go, they've committed. We shall run out to this side. Okay. I would like you all to die now. 17, 16, 15, 14. We have had 0 losses so far. Did I put these guys on attack stance? No. Kill them all. And now our influences have gotten up to 970. We just need 30 more and we can start buying another territory. Bye-bye, bios. In that case, time to go home. Whoop, 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 whoop. The spearmen can go home. We need to get them back to work. There's stuff that needs building. The retinue here are going to start sprinting. Their job's to get over to that bandit camp and claim it. For this one, we're going to go with this slightly different route. Guys. There you go. Perfect. Should we send the resources? Actually, I think I want to send the resources back from this one as well. We really should claim it for the gold, but the thing is, they did steal a bunch of our resources, and I think if we just give the gold to ourselves, it just goes into our treasury, and we don't get any of these resources back. This gives us back the 10 tools they stole, all of the firewood, all of the berries. Yeah, I think I kind of needed to do that. The next bandit camp we get, though, won't have a chance to steal from us, and since they won't have a chance to steal from us, well, we'll just kill them and then take the gold instead for our own personal wealth. Back home, while all that was going on, that took like a month and a half almost to get all of that. And that was with close combat. Like, they were right here and here. They could have been off on the other side of the map, or one over here, one over there. We could have been spending 3 months doing that campaign just to kill those two. We got very lucky with how close they were. Now, over here, we have our trading post, our storehouse, our clay furnace, and our mining pit. Okay, so we mine up the resources here. Then they get transferred over to the storehouse. Guys, where's our miners? You know what? Doesn't matter. There is still 1,600 left. So they dump it off in the storehouse. Then the clay furnace gets their hands on them. They use fuel to heat up the clay to turn into roof tiles. And then this guy over here is going to sell it. What you can do is go into trade. And there's minor and major trades. And this is where things get a little weird. You'll notice here on stone, you can sell 1 stone for 1 gold. Or you can buy 1 stone for 11 gold. Yeah, for some reason in these games, it's always a case of that buying stuff is so much more ridiculously expensive. It's not even close. However, these major trades. These are things you have to actually pay an upfront fee to actually start trading them at all. Namely because they're complicated. So all of your military items, you have to pay a fee to open up a trade route. Commodities like tools, cloaks, shoes, ale, all of that stuff, another commodity fee. You don't have to pay anything for crafting materials, it seems, except for leather, charcoal, and iron parts. It seems those are a little bit locked because they're some of the more powerful ones. Food, the only thing you have to pay for is sausages. Everything else you can freely trade. Crops you can freely trade. But the one we're interested in here is roof tiles. Also, pay attention to the blocks down here. To establish a trade route for blocks, it would cost 60 gold. However, once we buy our first trade route, the price of that is going to go up. So now it's gone to 120. Every time you buy a trade route, it increases the cost of the next trade route, usually limiting how much trading you're going to be doing in any particular goods. Well, at least for a while. One other thing we've done is we're putting down a hitching post. That hitching post, we're going to buy a horse. The thing is, when you assign a trader to this place, that trader can then trade 5 of the item they're set to, well, with roof tiles, they can trade 5 of them. That's kind of limiting, because a single family that we're putting in this is 3 people. So even if all 3 of them go along, that means in a single trade run, they can trade 15 tiles. We're probably going to produce a lot more than that in the time it takes them to get either over to here where they're trading, or over here, or they might go to some other random point on the map. So, to speed that along, we're going to get our hands on a horse. That horse will help speed it up. Order a new horse. Yes, please. Then we'll go under livestock and say permanently assign livestock. Horses can carry 10 times as much as a person, so they can carry 50 tiles. It just speeds up the trading. All right. Over here, what we're doing is we're clearing out this area. We're going to say keep this block here for infrastructure stuff. Probably this block here, and then over here we're going to put in more housing. Actually, we're going to put in 2 batches of housing. We're going to need a lot of it. Damn it. Should I turn the camera angle that way? I don't want to confuse people all the time. I think I started off the episode looking at it like this, and now I've switched over to like this, and now we're kind of rotating around again. It's just the way the town sort of naturally grows. At the moment, we have 18 families, we have 21 living space, and our approval has dropped quite a bit. Reason being, food. We've only got berries. Literally, the bread we started with is gone. Our meat evaporates the moment we get it because it immediately chewed through. We don't have any eggs or anything else like that coming in because we just don't have the money. And until that trading comes online, yeah, we're going to have problems. Oh. And because we've brought this trade route, what we can do now is say we want to export, and we would like to keep, say, 30 tiles for our own personal production. Thank you. In the end, I decided to just chuck down our house build over here. It's basically a replica of this one, though probably a little bit messier. The lines got a little bit squiggly. This thing needs a grid system. I think that was the dev's main thing, is he didn't want to be trapped on a grid. I am quite happy being trapped on the grid. Give me a grid system, please, or like a button or a thing I can turn on to turn on a grid so I can make my... I like city blocks, okay? It's easy to navigate that stuff. That's looking nicely done. Perfect. Okay, so these are all veggie plots. These are all orchards. Say a 50-50 mix. Give me veggies over here. This side can be an orchard. Reasonably balanced, as all things should be. Ooh, bandit camp. And it is before the end of winter. How far away are you? Oof. We're the red territory over here. You're not that far away. Once we nab you, we see about expanding. I would really like to claim that territory if all possible. That one's got a rich iron deposit, and we could start making our own armor and weapons. That would be an interesting time. Let's get the team together and go a smashing, shall we? Our troop companies are on the march. However, it's gone to the next month, which is March, which means these berries are about to start growing. Right now? Right? It's March, it's spring. Why aren't you growing? Does it take another month, or am I missing something? Okay, we got a message. You received reports of a band of raiders roaming the nearby lands. Should we track their steps? Sure. Oh, yeah, these guys attack in like 365 days or something. And we've seen another leader's armies. Light mercenary infantry, and light mercenary infantry. 3 squads of light mercenary infantry over there. Okay. I don't think he attacks us, but honestly, I'm not sure. We have plenty of housing. We have 31 housing and only 20 families. That is great. It'll be a while before those burgage plots become occupied. We've got... Well, hopefully once these berries come back online, seasonal growing. Okay, we were also putting in an extra forager hut. In fact, we have one forager hut here. We have a second forager hut over there, and we're putting in a third one because normally once it hits this month, those things start growing really quickly, and we want to have plenty of people ready to just slam all of them into storage for the long haul. For this next fight, we've taken up position on a hill. There's supposed to be a mechanic where if you're on top of a hill and they're fighting uphill against you, your guys do better. So I want to make sure that is correct. Alright boys, run around to the side. That guy seems to have gotten caught. You fellas. Oh, you're on push forward. I maybe shouldn't have done that. Charge! They killing them? Oh, still 18 of them left. Alright, fine. We'll let this play on. These guys should be getting some decent experience out of this as well. Corpses near. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate. Sorry about that. We still have 20 people left. I don't think we've lost anyone yet. Maybe one of our retinue? Did we start with 6 retinue? Oh, I've named them. And they're broken. Excellent. Well, in that case, since we're all the way over here, and the territory you want to claim is this one, say we pop over to this camp, claim it, and then claim this territory. How much did it cost? It cost 1,000 influence. We currently have 1,300. So we claim it and have our troops there to back up our claim if the local lord decides he doesn't like our claim. In the meantime, oh, berries. Excellent. There's 40 berries. That means there's been a tick of berry growth. I need to, well, we're going to have to scale back a bunch of stuff here. Sorry. Everyone out of there. Yeah, you can also go out of there. What will leave you? Actually, no, you can go as well. There's no point having you in that. We effectively just want to pile everyone into these. Namely because it just gives so many berries. I need to find more people. Right, that is everyone switched over. They're all going to pile in. Ooh, and I should maybe put on a farmer over here. Yeah, they can finish off planting that barley. Go for it. How's the barley looking? We've already got a yield of 6 on that, and it looks like it's 26% done. How are you looking? 51, 50, 50, and 61. Alright, one thing I should point out, fertility has no bearing, it seems, on how fast crops grow. So it doesn't matter how fertile the soil is, all that matters is you have enough fertility to get it to where it needs to go. So 50%. As long as you get 50% fertility, you'll get the crop to finished in the same time as a 100% fertility patch. Alright, I think we're actually on track. All we're really waiting for is a bit more money and our trading to kick in. Has our trading actually done anything for us yet? We have sold 1 roof tile. I think what happened was when we got the army together to go out, one of the guys was actually going off to do a trade because it dumped a whole bunch of tiles right back into the inventory. So I think what happened was he was off with the horse. He was about to go do a trade or was on his way to do a trade. And then when we summoned the army, he dropped everything he was doing. The hell? Yeah, we're probably going to have to fight those guys. That's a lot of guys. When searching through your enemy's belongings, you find a stash of goods. They can be sent to your people who surely need them, though it is your right to keep them. This belongs to my treasury now. We're going to keep all the gold for ourselves. That gives us 135 gold for our treasury, which is good. Did you guys sprint? Why did you sprint? Oh, I double-clicked when I told them to attack the guys. I think we push our claim now. First things first, though, we hire some mercenaries. Wayward Sons. What are you? Well, it looks like they've got some bows, so we shall hire you. Yeah, great. Hire this company. A small... No, we don't want to hire the second batch. Where are these other groups? They're coming in way over here. Let's go. Time to claim. You. We would... Claim with influence. Press claim towards this region. Yes. The whole reason we want this territory is that rich iron deposit. That would give us all of the weapons we would need. And the reason we brought along these guys is, well, if this guy decides to get uppity, we should have the troops to make him go, no, and just go back home. And over here, how are we looking? I think, yeah, we got enough guys on here. Got 2 there, 3 there. And we got 2 people in the granary. The granary people will pop over and they should empty out the forager huts so they don't get too full. And this granary I'm leaving off. I want to actually delete that granary. I'm probably going to repurpose this area for something else and move all the granaries over this side somewhere, or move all the berry harvesting the other side. It's a nice and close to our housing, and it's kind of valuable real estate. From what I can see, this guy doesn't want to tangle with us. This claiming just takes some time. Once the claiming is finished, assuming this guy decides not to contest it, we gain control of this province. We won't immediately have settlers there. We'll have to pay a fee to put settlers there. I think it's 250 gold, which we cannot afford. But I would prefer to claim it now before he tries claiming it and we have to fight him. Iron deposit. Oh, that'd be just so handy. It is going to be hard to defend, and it is quite far away, but we'll sort something out. Ooh, region has been claimed successfully. Guy didn't kick up a stink. Right. Kind of shocked, to be honest. Everybody go home. You can do that on the double if you wouldn't mind. Then these guys, we don't have to re-up their subscription for 15 days. So let's just keep them around, I suppose. And then I have to remember to get rid of them. Otherwise, it's going to cost us 45 gold, which we would prefer not to pay. We can keep these guys around for 3 months. Mercenaries are just incredibly powerful. I think they are a little bit broken, to be honest, from what I've seen of them so far. But I'm not going to worry about that just yet. Two days left for the Wayward Sons. I don't think there's anything for them to do. There's no bandit camps, no thing we can throw them at, so I'm afraid you guys are getting disbanded. We don't need you no mores. Done. Oh, this territory over here, we can't do anything with it until we actually pay. Ah, here we go. Settlers camp. Place it in an empty claim territory in order to settle it. Grants base starting supplies and 5 starting family. Basically, it's like restarting over, except you also have your other base. And you can place it wherever you want. Ooh, I mean, you'd probably... Nope, I'm not going to worry about it now. We'll worry about that later. Though I think right now I'm out of time because I spent too long micromanaging and doing... It's just there's a lot of little things that goes on in this game and you keep getting sucked into trying to plan things out. Right, plan though, very simple. We're going to have grain coming in this year. And lots of it. We're actually at, what, you're 59% grown, you're already 60. So this will be done in a few months' time. Once those kick in, we'll have all the bread we need, which means we'll have 2 foodstuffs. Right now we've got 154 berries and 30 veggies. These vegetable patches are already coming in. You can see the way they've sort of cut all of these pieces up to here. So this is the bits they've harvested. So they've still got a whole bunch more to go. These veggie patches actually haven't hit peak production. I think it takes 3 years for them to hit peak production, but they're still going to give us more than enough to tide over a population of this size. We don't have anyone who's moved in here just yet, but once they do, they'll start planting that one. Oh, and this is one of the reasons. These are doubles, as in we made these double residential plots so we could fit in 2 groups of families. That means there's twice as many people to work the fields, which means they're more likely to get harvested in time. I think there's a time limit. Also, under general, you can see it actually has a larger pantry size, I believe, because there's 2 of them. And we're going to upgrade these to level 2. In fact, upgrades, I think we're going to start kicking them in now. I hold out on the upgrades until the 2nd year because I want to wait till I have 2 reliable food sources. You can upgrade these to level 2 earlier when you still have bread at reasonably early in the game. I like to wait and just like mass produce as much housing as possible and get as many pawns in. 22 families is pretty good for this stage. And how's our trade looking? Yeah, we still only have +8. I'm pretty sure someone's out trading, though. They've got to be. Albrecht. They're out trading. And they are... Oh, they're heading this direction. Yeah, they're heading over to that trade hub. Right, once that hits, that should give us a big dose of money. And then the choice is between going straight military or getting a bunch of chicken coops. I think I'll probably go chicken coops and start harvesting the iron. There's 231 iron deposit. I say we turn that into weapons. Our choices are... bows and crossbows, which, nah, they're too wimpy. It's probably the most cost-efficient way is actually warbows. Keep your people out of trouble, use mercenaries to tank. It's the current meta right now is use mercenaries to tank and use warbows or crossbows on your people, so your people remain safe. Nah, not as much fun. Then we've got Armorer's Workshop, which can get you armor, but that requires a plot point. But the blacksmith can produce you spears, shields, and sidearms? Oh no, spears and sidearms, and polearms as well. They're not listed here. And you're also going to probably need a tailor so you can get gambeson. Gambeson is like a type of cloth arm. You know what? We'll do all that in the next episode. For now, I'm going to cut this out here and hope you enjoyed it. Good luck.
Of all the money